Sounding exquisite.
Oh shit, we back again. What's up, what's happening? Come to the party and bring a friend. Fuck it, I'm bringing 10. Ooh, trying to chat a 10. Big boy trying to chat a 10. She said I was catchy. I said, yo, tap a man.
Touchdown!
Double cup, wow, I stuck smile when I puff loud. I touch clouds, catching touchdowns in my mind now, cause I'm zoned out. On a porch couch in the Zod cloud. 2 coughs and I'm back now. 2 coughs and I'm packed out. Somebody give me a drink before I gotta sit down. I'm making hits now with a smooth style.
What's up, everybody? It is the Trash Talk Tailgate. I am your host, Dr. Preston Rowe, defensive backs quality control coach, and I am joined as once again with the executive producer, Jasper Jazzy Green. What's up, Jasper? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to keep the TTT rolling. There's some really exciting developments behind the scenes for the Trash Talk Tailgate. We kind of have to be quiet about it at the moment. There's a pact of secrecy, but man, this is the 2026 season gonna be nuts.
It is.
We are so excited.
Yeah, we're not gonna announce anything until Riley gets back. Riley's been busy the last 2 weeks. We do miss him, but the
Dearly.
TTT must go on. But we're not going to announce anything until Riley is on the show with us once again. So, dog.
Yeah, no,
It's going
exciting.
to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, it is. I mean, well, let's stop blue balling the people here and get into this offseason coverage.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's plenty to talk about. I know it's, and we have, our writers are back. The writers have been keeping me flushed with curveballs to throw at Preston. So I'm pretty excited to shoot those his way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, man. I'm really excited. The TTT Writers are back. They're going to be back with us all offseason with all the questions that the people want answered. The TTT Writers are really fucking awesome. But Jasper, you saw the thumbnail. We know what we're talking about in this episode. Free agency winners and losers.
Yes, and I'm to understand. I'm to understand that the Titans are a bit of a loser this time around.
The Titans are always losers. The Titans have been losers ever since they fired Mike Vrabel for some godforsaken reason. They've been on a downward spiral for the last 5 years now. It's fucking crazy. What's up, Ethan? We appreciate you joining us. Ethan, new to the chat. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to the Trash Talk Tailgate. We really appreciate it. But Jasper, I have some hashtag copious notes. Went through all the free agency deals and signings and extensions, and I've got some winners and I've got some losers. And I think people are going to be shocked. The winners, they just stay winning. They're pretty much always consistent winners. They're the best organizations in football, and the losers fucking suck. And they continue to make bad, poor, poverty decisions.
It's almost like the choices you make, have consequences as far as your outcome is concerned. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What a concept that people paid millions of dollars cannot and refuse to grasp.
It's true. So, first of all, we're going to start with the biggest headline of this entire free agency period is the Ravens backing out of the Max Crosby trade. I don't know if you heard about this, but we said it on the last episode that Max Crosby had been traded to the Baltimore Ravens for 2 first-round picks. He's an elite-level edge rusher. We joked about how Joe Burrow was going to die this year, having to deal with potentially Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, and TJ Watt all in the same division. But at the last hour, the Ravens said that Max Crosby failed his physical because whenever a trade or whenever a deal happens, you have to pass a physical in order to be traded or in order to have the deal go through. So Max Crosby failed his physical, and the Ravens got cold feet, and they backed out of the trade at the last hour. But here's the crazy thing, Jasper.
Mm-hmm.
They went out and they got a slightly worse player, but a still really great player for a lot cheaper. So remember, the Ravens would have had to give up 2 first-round picks in order to trade for Max Crosby. So they botched that deal at the last hour, pissing off the Raiders. The Raiders are not happy about it. But then they signed Trey Hendrickson, the former Cincinnati Bengals edge rusher,
for
$28 million a year without having to give up those first-round picks.
Bro, poor Joe Shiesty. That man is in fucking trouble. What the fuck? I mean, it's not like they should have let that man go in the first place.
No.
That was fucking stupid of them.
It was rumored before Trey Hendrickson hit free agency that he wanted to go to a team that was going to play the Bengals a lot. And he goes to a division rival, and now Joe Burrow's going to have to see him twice a year. And you know Trey Hendrickson wants to get revenge and show the Bengals how incompetent they truly are.
Yeah.
He's going to ball against them.
Yeah, no, he is. And we can only pray for Joe Shiesty. Hashtag pray for Joe Shiesty. That he does not get demolished by Trey Hendrickson because there's nothing that O-line can do to stop that man.
No. It's really, man, it's really bad, dude. So the Ravens, they signed Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year, $112 million deal with $60 million fully guaranteed. And so, Jasper, here's the reason I think the Ravens won in this scenario. Because there are 3 ways to acquire players, and each way is more and more expensive. So the cheapest way and the easiest way is to draft the players. Because there's a rookie wage scale. The rookies can only make so much depending on where they're drafted. Does that make sense? So first-round picks can make a certain amount of money. And in the grand scheme of things, it's very, very cheap. So you get a really good young player that's not going to count against your cap. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and then there's free agency signings. And if you sign a guy in free agency, you're probably going to have to pay top dollar market value. Because obviously they've played in the league, they've produced in the league theoretically, and they want what they believe they're worth. So you're going to have to pay an expensive amount of money to get those players to sign. And then there's trading for a player, which is the most expensive way to get a player. Because if you trade for a player, you have to give up, draft capital or other players to then just to get the player. And then you're also going to have to sign that player to a top dollar extension.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So they got lucky. They were going to buy something expensive, and then they were like, nah, actually this is not what we want. And they went off and they got a deal.
Yeah. And they got 95% of the player for that Max Crosby is for way, way cheaper.
Nice.
And a lot of people are upset at the Ravens. They're like, oh, the Ravens, this is bad business. No, if you're complaining, if you're complaining about the Ravens doing this, ultimately teams are going to do what's in the best interest of them. Because ultimately the goal is to try to win football games. And the best franchises understand that. The Ravens are one of the most consistent franchises in the entire league. All they do is make really good decisions. They're one of the best drafters. They don't make a lot of free agent splash signings, but when they do, they hit. They're just a really well-run, competent organization. And they knew that once Max Crosby failed that physical, they could get out of it and they could go get Trey Hendrickson for a lot cheaper. That is a great, savvy move. And if you're upset about it, then if you're upset about it, then you don't understand what the point of this is. Yes, it might not be the best business, but ultimately the Ravens are going to do what's best for them. You know?
It's a cutthroat. It's cutthroat.
It's very, very cutthroat.
And it has to be. If you want to win, you have to be cutthroat and something like that. With that much money moving around, there's no room for sentiment. No room for it at all.
It's a great move. I love the move for them. I would have liked it if they got Max Crosby, but giving up 2 first-round picks, that's a lot of potential, great players that you could have, or, just it's a lot of draft capital. It's a very expensive draft capital that you give up.
Yeah.
And now you don't have to give up any of it, and you still get 95% of the player of Max Crosby and a great player in Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, no, he's motivated.
He's motivated. That's
he's
the other
very
thing.
motivated. He's mad.
He's incredible.
This is where apparently is where he wanted to be.
Yeah, he wanted to play a team that was gonna play the Bengals a lot, and that's where he is, dog.
He's out for blood.
He's out for blood, man. Joe Shiesty might die this year, as sad as it is.
As Ethan said, Joe Burrow on suicide watch by week 8, or
100
unaliving himself watch. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I think the Ravens are huge free agency winners. Let's see, who else do we got? I've got the Patriots. I really like what the Patriots have done. They signed the Jets' best offensive lineman, Elijah Vera Tucker. The Jets let their best offensive lineman walk away for nothing. That just shows you what the Jets are doing.
Why would you do that?
Because it's the Jets, dude. They don't make good decisions.
That's a terrible decision. They have what offensive line.
Exactly.
So one of the only guys that can produce anything, you just let him walk away.
Yep. The Patriots. So another player going in division. The Patriots get the Jets' best offensive lineman. He's only 26 years old, and he signed him to a 3-year, $42 million contract extension with $21 million guaranteed. For a great young offensive lineman who's shown like Pro Bowl potential when healthy, it's a really good signing. He's still young. He's only 26. Like, it's not like you're signing a 32-year-old offensive lineman. You know how I feel about that. That's not going to end well. But he's still young. I don't know why the Jets let him go. It's the Jets.
I don't know. He made a penis joke at Brick Johnson.
His Madden rating slipped a little bit. That's why.
It did, dude.
Oh no. And then, so the Patriots, their offensive line got exposed in the Super Bowl. They were hurt in the playoff run. So they kind of fortify their offensive line a little bit with that signing. Then they go out, they get Romeo Doubs. I'm not crazy about this, but I get it. They do need wide receivers. They get wide receiver Romeo Doubs on a 4-year, $70 million contract. The thing is, he's been in the league 4 years. He's never had 60 catches in a season, and he's never had 1,000 yards receiving in a season. That's a lot of money for a not very productive wide receiver. But that's unfortunately what you pay when you pay free agents. You're going to pay top dollar. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they're able to shore up, their wide receiver core a little bit. Yeah, I agree, Ethan. I'm not a huge fan of Romeo Doubs. He was never the number one receiver with the Packers. They don't have a number one receiver. It's just, if he's your number 2, I'm okay with it, but that's a lot of money for a number 2 wide receiver. That's just, and I don't think he's a number 1. But, Jasper, you know who else I think really won free agency?
Who, Preston?
Your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Good. They stay kind of competent.
They are competent.
You want to talk? I mean, you want to talk consistency. We get the playoffs and we get one and done.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. That's the Steelers' way, Preston. That's the Steelers' way.
So they signed running back Rico Dowdle, former Panthers running back, on a 2-year, $12.5 million contract.
All right.
I really like Rico Dowdle. He's only 27 years old. He had 1,000 yards receiving last year, and he split carries with Chuba Hubbard. So you think as more of the number 1 back going forward, he can produce more. So I like that for them. They also, we're going to talk about them in a little bit because I don't know what they're doing, but they get Colts wide receiver Michael Pittman. They traded him for a 6th-round draft pick. That's all. They traded for Michael Pittman for just a 6th-round draft pick. That's nothing. And they get him on a 3-year, $59 million contract extension He's only 28 years old, and last year he had 80 catches for 784 yards and 7 touchdowns. That's a really solid number 2 wide receiver with DK Metcalf on the other side. I really like that for the Steelers. It's not like a big splashy, trade, but it's all the guy does is produce. He just produces.
It's savvy.
It's very, very savvy. Another savvy pick that I really don't think people are going to pick up on is cornerback Jamel Dean, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, your other team.
Yes, Tampa Bay.
He's only 29. That is older for a corner, but they get him on a 3-year, $36 million contract. That's $10 million a year. That's really not a whole lot. So it's just, dog, I really like what the Steelers have done. They're not big, splashy signings, but they're just getting better.
They need to.
Yeah, they do.
They fucking need to.
I really like what the Steelers have done.
Start Will Howard.
That's funny. That is really funny. All right. And then another team that a lot of people are not gonna probably agree with this, but I do. I think the Texans were really good in free agency this year. They trade for running back David Montgomery. R.I.P. to Sonic and Knuckles up in Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery were my 2 favorite running backs in the whole league. And now David Montgomery is going to get to be the feature back in Houston. And he's great in pass protection, which the Texans offensive line has been terrible. That is their one weakness, is their offensive line. David Montgomery gives you something in pass protection, which I really like. But then here's the other thing, Jasper. They signed, let me go find it. They signed 1, 2, 3, 4. They signed 4 offensive linemen in free agency. So they saw what their weakness was, and they said, fuck it. We're going to throw everything we can at trying to fix it.
Yeah.
And,
nice. Good for them.
Yeah, dude.
Good for them.
Yeah.
They respected that. They saw that their bubs weren't being respected, and they respected their bubs.
They did, dude.
Good for them.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. Like, I really like what the Texans have done. Not a whole lot of flashy stuff, but they're just trying to get better up front. And they still need to get better. But there's the draft for that. I think they're going to draft offensive linemen very heavily in this year's draft. So
good.
I like what the Texans have done so far in free agency. Let me see who else. Who else did I have down? I really like what the Rams have done. The Rams, they had one weakness all year, and that was their secondary. Then they go out and they trade for cornerback Trent McDuffie, who's only 25 years old. They trade a first-round pick for this year, the 29th overall pick, and a 5th and a 6th this year, and then a 2027 7th-round pick. That's all you give up for one of the best slot corners in all of football to immediately improve your one weakness on an otherwise Super Bowl contending team. Like, if they had a better secondary last year, you could argue they would go to the Super Bowl instead of the Seahawks. Like, it just they signed Trent McDuffie to a 4-year, $124 million contract extension. I love that for them. It is expensive, but it is the one position of need that they needed to improve. And they're loaded everywhere else. So I love that for the Rams. The Bills, they trade for wide receiver DJ Moore, a guy who I have always loved. He was not utilized correctly in Chicago. He's never had a good NFL quarterback. Now he's got one in Josh Allen. And all they traded was a 2nd-round pick for DJ Moore. That's awesome.
Crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
Who at the Bears said that was okay?
I mean, Ryan Poles.
Ryan Poles. I mean, we have gone over that very damning article. Ryan Poles. Yes. I don't trust him at all, to put it very nicely.
Yep.
For the TTT to put it very nicely, we do not trust Ryan Poles one bit.
No, we don't. And you knew that DJ Moore was going to leave. You knew he wasn't coming back to Chicago next year. Because Caleb Williams and the entire organization blamed DJ Moore for their playoff loss. for a throw that Caleb Williams just fucked up. They said, oh, it was DJ Moore's fault. And you know what? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
you know
on behalf of DJ Moore here from us at the TTT, Chicago Bears, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and I'm so happy for DJ Moore. He finally has an elite level quarterback in Josh Allen who's going to feed him the ball. Dog, DJ Moore in fantasy next year. That's definitely
a solid pick. Why? I don't know why you're telling me this.
I don't know why either.
I'm gonna get Jeremiah Love and get DJ Moore. But tell the people in your league, get him. That's a solid move.
Jag Lee's gonna get Josh Allen and DJ Moore for the combo. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. Someone needs to stop that in the TTT Fantasy League. Someone needs to absolutely keep that from happening.
Yeah. So I really like what the Bills have done. Let's see. I've got a couple more. The Seattle Seahawks, the Super Bowl champions, dog.
They made good decisions.
Dog. Crazy. It's crazy how that happens. They didn't lose a whole lot out of their core. Typically, for Super Bowl teams, what happens is guys, they get their ring, and then they want to go get paid. And they know that the team probably won't be able to pay everyone. So there typically is a max exodus of players who all want to go get paid somewhere else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So, but dog, there really wasn't that for the Seahawks, man. They kept their second best wide receiver, their deep threat, Rashid Shaheed. He re-signed on a 3-year, $51 million contract extension. They re-signed their offensive tackle, Josh Jones. They re-signed their second best corner, Josh Jobe, to a 3-year, $24 million contract extension. And they're just really good, dog. Like they were able to keep the core of their players. They were able to keep the core of that Super Bowl winning team together. And they're going to be a problem for years to come, man. You know, just you've still got Sam Darnold, you've still got Jackson Smith-Njigba, still got Devin Witherspoon. You lose Kenneth Walker, but you've still got Zach Charbonnet in the backfield. They weren't going to pay a running back top dollar money. Just probably not worth it. So, yeah, I think the Seahawks really, really won in free agency. And then, dog, the Minnesota Vikings.
All right.
They get a starting NFL quarterback who was a former number 1 overall draft pick in Kyler Murray for the vet minimum. They have signed Kyler Murray to a $1.3 million contract. That is the veteran minimum. And they've got a loaded roster. Obviously, they have a really good offensive line led by Christian Darrisaw, their left tackle. And, yeah, Ethan, sometimes players just need a change of scenery. And, sometimes it's a scheme fit. Sometimes it just doesn't work out at a certain place. But Josh Jobe is balled out with Seattle. But they obviously have one of the best wide receivers in Justin Jefferson, a great number 2 in Jordan Addison, great tight end in TJ Hawkinson. They have an elite level defense. They just needed a quarterback. And JJ McCarthy was not it. If you watched the TTT any of the last 2 years, you knew JJ McCarthy was not it. I said when he was drafted, before he was drafted, he's not a franchise quarterback. At Michigan, all they did was hand the ball off. They didn't let him throw the ball in college. What the fuck makes you think he's going to throw the ball well in the NFL? It's
because they're drafting him, Preston.
Yeah, no, it's
obviously.
Just another reason to watch the TTT. It's almost like we know ball.
It's almost like we predict things. We say shit's going to happen, and then it happens.
It's true. But then you go out and you get Kyler Murray. And, dog, the Vikings won 9 games despite the worst quarterback play in the league. And now you go out and you get a veteran quarterback who's been to a Pro Bowl, who's been in the playoffs, who was a former number 1 overall pick. All he needs to do is just get better coaching. I mean, he was in Arizona forever in a desolate wasteland. And now he goes to Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. Like, with all that talent, all that roster around him. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome. I love it for the Vikings. They're going to be a really good team next year. And JJ McCarthy is no longer an NFL starter. It's almost like we called that.
Crazy how the TTT almost called it. That's why you should watch the TTT.
Yeah, no, it is why you should watch the TTT. So those are some of my winners. If the chat has any other winners, please feel free to talk about them. Let us know. But now, Jasper, it's time to go on to some losers.
Oh boy!
And these are some of the perennial losers in the NFL. It's shocking, isn't it?
How they make terrible decisions and the football team continues to not be that good.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't understand how that happens, Preston.
I don't either. I don't either. All right. So first of all, I had to make in my hashtag copious notes. I literally had to write out this sentence because I didn't understand it. What the fuck are the Indianapolis Colts doing? I don't understand it. So they re-signed quarterback Daniel Jones, who's had one good year in his entire career. Do you know what the pinnacle of his career was, Jasper?
Tell me, Preston.
When he threw in an entire season, he threw 15 touchdowns. And the Giants said that was worth paying him $160 million.
Good God, he got generational wealth.
What?
I mean, he's got generational wealth because of that.
He does, dude. And the Colts, so, he had a decent year last year, but then he got hurt with the Colts. He threw for 3,101 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, but he only played in 13 games. And the Colts decided that little string of games, just that small sample size was worth paying him a 2-year, $88 million contract extension.
Good for him getting that money.
Yeah, dude.
Like good for his family. Good for the people around him, and hopefully if they invest it in a savvy way and hold on to it, good for his entire lineage. But so that doesn't sound good for the Indianapolis Colts, though. It does not sound good.
No, dude. Daniel Jones went to the Kirk Cousins school of finessing NFL teams with generational wealth, like just producing very little and getting generational wealth off of it. It's crazy. And then, dog, this is even worse, in my opinion. Like, that's bad, but this is even worse. They lose. So remember I said the Steelers traded for the Colts' best wide receiver, Michael Pittman. And all they gave up was a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
But then the Colts decided, hey, our second best wide receiver, we're going to sign him to a 4-year, $114 million contract extension. Wide receiver Alec Pierce, who had 47 catches last year, 1,000 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's worth $114 million.
Nice. Good for the Colts, dude. Good for them. They're really that's a great decision. I really see them working out for them. I think they'll make the playoffs.
You want to hear a fun fact, Jasper? This is insane.
Yeah.
So as you know, there are head coaches and then there are general managers. And the head coaches coach the team and the general managers pick the players. They're the ones responsible for building the roster. The coach obviously has a say, but in most cases, the GM builds the roster.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the Colts GM, Chris Ballard, he's been there 8 years. He's been there 8 years. You know how many times he's made the playoffs in those 8 years?
How many?
Twice.
Nice. He's really producing.
He is really producing, Jasper. And you know when his last playoff appearance was, Jasper?
4 years ago.
You guessed correctly. It was 4 years ago.
Hell yeah.
That
I watched
man,
the TTT.
his what?
I watched the TTT.
You do watch the TTT, dog. Yep. And Jasper, his record as the Colts GM is 62, 69, and 1.
Fuck.
Dog, he's getting paid millions of dollars to keep his job and make terrible decisions.
Yeah, hashtag hire the TTT, hire Preston. Preston, you let Preston be your general manager. He will have you in the Super Bowl within 2 years.
I don't know about that. I'll have you in the playoffs in 2 years.
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
That's a guarantee. That's a TTT guarantee, unlike the hats.
Oh, yeah. You're a fucker. Also, Ethan, the Eagles, again, they don't do a whole lot, but they continue to win. It's almost like the best teams continue to make the best decisions. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is true. The Fleet did win the Super Bowl in year 1.
Hashtag hire the TTT.
Hashtag hire the TTT, man.
Fleet Pete.
Yeah, no. And so, obviously, the Colts are my biggest loser because they're the Colts, and they just – if it wasn't for the Titans, they would be the poverty franchise of the AFC South, probably of the AFC, too, to be honest, although the Browns and the Bengals do exist. There are a lot of poverty teams in the AFC. And my other teams, Jasper, I've got the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
the Dolphins,
they have not been good for a minute.
They released quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. He went to the Shadow Realm one too many times. Tua's definitely going to have CTE. But
poor fucker, man. I feel bad for that guy. I hope he's got a lot of money now. And
they paid him a lot of money. They did pay him a lot of money.
Good, because he got fucked up.
He did.
He did. So that was a good thing. Good thing. It was time for him to go. Time for him to enjoy the rest of his life.
So the Dolphins, they decided, hey, we're going to replace Tua, not with a starting NFL quarterback, but with a backup NFL quarterback. But we're going to pay him starter money. They signed quarterback Malik Willis, who was the Packers' backup quarterback for the last 2 years, to a 3-year, $67.5 million contract extension. Malik Willis has been in the league 4 years. He's started 6 career games.
All right.
That's over $10 million per start.
That's awesome. Good for Malik Willis, dude.
Yeah, dude. For Malik Willis.
It doesn't
decision though.
Yeah, no. I hope he works out just for his sake. But yeah, it doesn't seem like a very savvy move on the Dolphins' part.
Yeah, and it's not like, typically you want younger players, but he's already 26 years old and he only has 6 career starts.
Yeah.
This
is his chance. The Dolphins say, hey, look, man, we're going to give you $60 million. This is your chance.
Yeah, but the problem is the Dolphins have nothing else around him.
No, he's in trouble. He's in danger.
He is a danger. The
same offensive line that hopefully didn't, but probably did give Tua CTE.
Yeah, and then speaking of Tua, the Atlanta Falcons signed Tua.
Oh,
for the vet minimum.
God damn it, Tua! Stop playing football.
Yeah,
especially for teams that aren't that good.
No, the Falcons are terrible. They continue to draft just skill position players. They don't have good offensive or defensive lines. Their first round pick last year got arrested this offseason. He's probably going to go to prison. So that was a major L for them. It's shocking, Jasper. He fell in the draft because of real character concerns, but they drafted him anyway. Who could have seen that coming?
Who could have?
Yeah, dude. We saw him play. He played for Tennessee, James Pierce Jr. in the Ohio State game.
Oh yeah, where they got blown the fuck out.
Yeah, when they got blown the fuck out.
And we told the Tennessee people they didn't deserve to be there. Go watch that shit. It's hilarious.
That shit was hilarious.
Probably the best intro of a TTT video we've ever made.
Oh, dude, it's gonna get way better this year.
Oh yeah, no. We got something. It's already cooking. It's already cooking. It's gonna have been by the time you guys get it, it'll have been cooking for damn near 6 months, a little over.
Oh yeah.
So I hope y'all are ready for some delicious TTT sauce.
It does involve Tennessee too, like a brief part.
Oh yeah.
Of it. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think we're giving too much away already.
Yeah, I know. Nah, dude. So the Falcons, they signed Tua for the vet minimum, $1.3 million. And it's just like, dog, you have Michael Penix, who's terrible, and now you bring in Tua Tagovailoa, who's also just broken. He's broken. He used to be really good, but now the Dolphins broke this man.
He needs to quit playing football.
He does need to quit playing football, and it's like you could have went to a good organization, but you chose to go to the Falcons. That's just Falcons. I mean, it's crazy, Jasper. The same poverty teams continue to be poverty. It's crazy that all of their decisions have real consequences.
And their decisions are not good.
Yeah.
So, Preston, tell me about our favorite team at the TTT. The one that we focus on so much, the New York Football Jets.
Oh yeah. No, I just felt bad including them in the losers because I feel like that's just a given.
Just default loser.
We already talked about it, dog. They let their best offensive lineman walk for nothing to a division rival who just went to the Super Bowl. Nope.
You gotta hit it, dude. I mean, but I was saying, did they do anything else that was like ill-advised?
They traded for quarterback Geno Smith. Was very bad with the Raiders.
Yeah, no, I was about to say he didn't do very well.
No, he didn't do very well.
I had Raiders players in my fantasy team.
We told you not to draft him, Jasper. We told you not to do it.
No, everyone groaned when I did. No one forewarned me.
No, I told you not to draft Genty. I told you not to do it. But, you didn't listen to me. Geno was very ill-advised, 100%. This is, you know what, dog? I do feel bad for Geno Smith. This is his second stint with the Jets. He got drafted by the Jets coming out of West Virginia, and his time in New York ended so badly that he got his jaw broken by being punched by a teammate. That's a real story.
Why the fuck is he going back?
I don't know, dude.
Did he even have a say?
No, he got traded. The Raiders traded him to the Jets.
They said, fuck you, go back to football hell.
They did, dude. They did. Oh, my God. It's the Jets, man. Ethan, they did lose their best guard. We already talked about it. They lost Elijah Vera Tucker, who's now with the Patriots. It's crazy. The best teams continue to get richer, and the worst teams stay poverty.
It's true. The rich man getting richer out here.
Yeah, dude.
The fucking Seahawks are going to be a real problem.
They are, dude. Oh, my God. Oh, just imagine. It's not going to happen, but, imagine if Jeremiah Love falls to the Seahawks in the draft.
That would be fucking hilarious. I would love for him to go to Tampa Bay.
I mean, he might, dog. He might.
Yeah, we were pretty ass.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa just had a lot of injuries, though.
We did, man. We keep having. Yeah. We've learned our lesson because Tampa used to be poverty as fuck. It used to be fucking terrible. Tom Brady showed us how to save our money and invest in the stock market. Okay, Tom Brady told us not to buy the used Mercedes off Facebook Marketplace. Tom Brady stopped us, showed us how to eat healthy. All right, asparagus and salmon and shit. So yeah, I want my beautiful Buck Pirates to do better.
And yes, Ethan, the Falcons, they did lose one of their better offensive linemen as well. It's crazy, dog.
Why are we letting the big men go and the big men slamming each other's sport, Preston?
I don't know, Jasper. It's
they get paid millions of dollars to make these choices. # hire the TTT.
They do. They really do, dude. But yeah, so that's kind of my free agency recap. Jasper, I believe we have some questions. Jasper, the answer is no, they're not a football team. No.
They're a perennial loser.
Yeah. I believe we have the TTT Writers questions to get to.
We do, man.
Mm-hmm.
So Let's get into this first one. Do you think the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker III in the NFL free agency means they're not buying into the hype of the Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love and some other running back prospects? Or do you think it's more the Chiefs prefer securing a solid running back for their team as of now?
So here's my thing. I think that's a great question, first of all. It's a fantastic question. I think the Chiefs thought that Jeremiah Love, so they have the 9th overall draft pick. They have the 9th pick in the draft. Jeremiah Love might not be there. He might not be there at 9. You have the Giants that might draft him. You know, there are a few teams that might draft Jeremiah Love before he could potentially get to the Chiefs. And instead of waiting for the draft, I think they just wanted to say, hey, let's just go ahead and get a sure thing in free agency now. Because, you know, they haven't had a good run game in 2 years ever since Isaiah Pacheco got injured. Hasn't been the same. Patrick Mahomes was their leading rusher last year. Like,
hilarious.
That's not good. It's part of the reason he got hurt. And they needed to completely revamp their run game. They still need to improve the interior of their offensive line. They need to get better at running the ball. And I just think instead of waiting. So here's what they could have done, Jasper. They could have said, fuck it, we're going to go get Jeremiah Love. But they would have had to trade up significant draft capital to ensure that they get him. You know?
Yeah.
So they could have done that. Or they could have just sat back and waited. Not signed anyone in free agency. And potentially not gotten Jeremiah Love at all. So I think they just went with the sure thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it does.
There's a real chance Jeremiah Love does not make it to 9.
No, there's no fucking way.
He's saucy.
He is saucy. He's got a real problem. Guaranteed.
Oh, my God. If the Titans draft Jeremiah Love, it's just... God, I hate the Titans. They're so bad. Titans are so bad. You have so many other holes. You don't need to draft a running back. It's so stupid. But yeah, so that would be my answer to that question.
I got you. So do you think the hype from the tight end prospects for this year's NFL draft are excessive, such as with Kenyon Sadiq? I hope I pronounced that right.
Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah. Max Clare.
Mm-hmm.
Or even Sam Roush from Stanford. Do you think such expectations are justified or fair?
So I think tight end is one of the hardest positions to come into the league and dominate right away. I think you see that over the course of NFL history because there's just so much you have to be able to do at the tight end position. You have to be able to inline block like big ass defensive NFL linemen. You know, you have to be able to get your hands dirty with the bubs, but you also have to be able to run clean routes. You have to be able to understand spacing and coverages to be able to get open in the NFL. That is one of the best things I've ever seen. Oh my God. I agree, Ethan. I really do. If the Titans draft Jeremiah Love, it would be a terrible decision. It would be just poverty franchises doing poverty things, Jasper.
That's what they do, man.
That's what they do. They can't help themselves. Can't help themselves.
Tom Brady didn't show them how to eat healthy and not buy the Mercedes-Benz for $2,000 off Facebook Marketplace, thinking it was going to be a good daily. Tom Brady didn't do that shit for them.
No. Dog. But so back to the tight ends. I think tight end is just one of the most difficult positions to translate from college to the NFL because it's so physically demanding. You have to be able to do so much more at a high level. And a lot of times, head coaches don't trust rookie tight ends because there is a real learning curve there. So they might not play as much as you probably expect. But I do think the hype is real, especially for Sadiq. Sadiq is a physical freak. He's a great athlete. That's going to translate to the NFL. He's got really good hands. He dominated at Oregon. Also, Max Clare. I love Max Clare from Ohio State. The problem with Ohio State tight ends, They never get the love they deserve because they have dominant NFL wide receivers all over the field. Like this year alone, they had Carnell Tate, Brandon Innes, and Jeremiah fucking Smith. Jeremiah Smith is the best player in all of college football, and he's only a sophomore. And so the tight ends kind of get lost in the shuffle at Ohio State. So I do really like the hype. I think they're both really good football players. I just think the transition from college to the NFL is really difficult at the tight end position. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
In general terms, do you think the majority of NFL teams have learned to value more from the tape from the players throughout all of their respective college football seasons more than their perspective in their performances in NFL scouting combine? Or do you think that the NFL teams are still valuing more than they probably should of the hype for the performance? Such as Mike Washington, Zachariah Branch, etc.
So again, I mean, I wouldn't throw Zachariah Branch in there because Zachariah Branch dominated at Georgia. He was Georgia's best wide receiver, and he's a monster. I love Zachariah Branch. I think he should be a first-round draft pick. I wouldn't throw Zachariah Branch in that, he's an athletic freak with no production category. But the overall question still goes back to certain teams, they do watch the tape, and they make good decisions based on the tape. Those are consistently the best teams in football. They're the best drafting teams. The Ravens, the Eagles, the Seahawks, the Chiefs, the Lions, just the Packers. The best teams in football make the best decisions based on, can you play football well? Will you help this team win football games? But teams like the Browns, the Bengals, we saw it with Shamar Stewart last year. They made poverty decisions.
Yep.
They base they go out of their way to try to be like, they overthink shit.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, is he a great football player? They look at, he's not athletic. He's like Caleb Downs, the safety from Ohio State. I've seen a lot of people say he's going to fall because he's not athletic. He ran a 4.36 40-yard dash. That's really fucking fast. But they're like, there are safeties that are faster than him. It's like, who cares? The dude dominated at Ohio State and Alabama. He was a 3-year starter. He started at Alabama, transferred when Nick Saban retired, and then he became a 2-year starter at Ohio State. Like, the dude is a phenomenal football player, one of the best safety prospects I've ever seen. But people are going to overthink it because, he's not athletic. He's not athletic, Jasper. We need to go get athletic freaks. No. The goal is to get the best football players. That is the goal. And the teams that lose sight of that always make bad decisions. The teams that understand that make good decisions. And you see that directly translated into wins and losses.
Got you. So
does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So do you think most of the so-called NFL draft analysts are terribly undervaluing some of the 2026 draft prospects for poor performance? And do you think that the majority of NFL teams are going to likely overconsider these performances? And you just kind of touched on this.
Does he give examples? Like, I'm trying to think. Like,
Jamari Taylor, Emmett Johnson.
I mean, Emmett Johnson's a monster. I think Emmett Johnson should be a 2nd or 3rd round pick. He was Nebraska's only consistently good player. And yes, Ethan, you are 100% correct. Jack Lee, you are 100% correct. The Falcons did make a poverty decision by giving the Rams 2 first-round picks last year. And that player that they traded up for is now in prison. So it's a really good decision, Jasper.
It is.
No, Reuben Bain won't go to Cincinnati because the Bengals are insane and they're really dumb. I was about to say something else, but I caught myself. But Reuben Bain, I would love him in Cincinnati. It's not going to happen. They're not going to draft him. And Ethan, you are correct. The Bengals' success is despite their front office. Joe Burrow has been hard carrying that franchise.
Hashtag free Joe Shiesty.
Hashtag free Joe Shiesty. But I mean, what was the question again? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Do you think that the so-called draft analysts are terribly undervaluing some of the 2026 prospects for poor performance at the combine?
Yes.
What do you think about?
Oh,
what
at
do
the
you think about
combine.
that?
Okay, I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about that for Peter Woods?
With Peter Woods, he was supposed to be a first-round draft pick. He probably will still be a first-round draft pick, but he underperformed at Clemson. Like, I mean, you watch the tape, you watch him. He did not play well at Clemson. He was part of the reason why Clemson had such a bad year this year, because all of their first-round picks that were supposed to play up to their potential did not play up to their first-round potential. So I always say you watch the tape first, and then you just confirm things with the combine. If the guy looks fast on tape, if the guy looks explosive on tape, if he has quickness on tape, and you look at his combine numbers, which again, they're running in underwear. The NFL combine is the underwear Olympics. You just confirm them. If he runs a fast 40-yard dash, if he has a fast and quick and elite 3-cone drill, which measures quickness, like, then you just confirm it. Okay, he ran a fast 40, he plays fast on tape. But if they don't match up, then you have to go back and look and see where the disconnect is on tape. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You always have to take the tape first. That is also true. Peter Woods did do that. But I mean, he did. He had a down year though, and it was part of the reason why Clemson had a down year. It wasn't just him. It was TJ Parker as well. But again, and then so like if a guy runs a fast 40-yard dash, but he doesn't play fast on tape and he didn't produce, that's a red flag. Because it's like, oh, he might just be a great athlete, but he's not a good football player. You have to try to confirm things you see on tape, and then you have to go look and see where the disconnect is if things don't match up. But you always look at the tape first. Does that make sense?
Of course it does. So I think I've saved the best question for last here. This was number 2 on the list, but
okay.
So what is your take on the Los Angeles Chargers acquiring center Tyler Biad? How the fuck you know who this man is? Tyler Biadasz. How the fuck do you say his name? Is that how you say it?
Hang on.
In the NFL free agency before the Las Vegas Biadasz.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So what is your take on the Los Angeles Chargers acquiring center Tyler Biadasz in the NFL free agency before the Las Vegas Raiders announced their signing of center Tyler Linderbaum? Do you think the Chargers front office are being cheap and stingy, or do you think that the Chargers simply found a better opportunity in Biadasz?
Well, so here's the thing. Tyler Linderbaum is the better player. But again, yeah, Biadasz. Tyler Linderbaum is the better player. I love Tyler Linderbaum. But the Chargers got Biadasz for a 3-year, $30 million. That's $10 million a year. That's really cheap for an offensive lineman. Tyler Linderbaum signed for, God, how much did Tyler Linderbaum sign for? 3-year, $81 million contract. That's way more expensive. So Biadasz is still a really good player. And the Chargers, they got it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson. You get 95 or worst case scenario, 90% of the player, still a really good player, but you get him for a lot cheaper and you can spread that money around to other places of need on the roster.
Yeah.
So I really like what the Chargers have done. I like the Raiders getting Linderbaum. He's a great player, but he's really, really expensive.
I mean, they need some muscle up front, so it doesn't make sense. They need all the help they can get.
They're about to draft Fernando Mendoza, number 1 overall, and they're going to be very disappointed when he doesn't save them.
No. Fernando Mendoza was a problem because there was an awesome team around him.
Exactly. Oh my God! Comparing Justin Herbert to the white Bryce Young is insane. I get it though. There are definitely some parallels there. But yeah, no, that's a great question. typically I would say you get what you pay for. And, you know, for offensive linemen, I feel like it is probably better to overspend. But 30 million to 81 million for the same 3-year contract, like that's a lot to overpay, you know?
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, are you okay getting 90% of Tyler Linderbaum for a much cheaper price?
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
Especially if you're the Chargers. They're all right.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Do we got any more?
That is it for this batch.
The chat. Oh man, that dog. Shout out to the writers, man. Clap for the writers.
Absolutely, clap for the fucking writers, dude. The writers always kill it. We have an awesome writing room here at the TTT. They fucking kill it.
They do, dude. You know, just wish Riley was here, man. I miss Riley. Riley, we miss you. We want you back next week.
He will be. Pretty
I know
sure.
he will.
I haven't checked the Google Calendar yet.
He had to go to a wedding.
Looks
I
fun.
get it. The chat's been really fun, though. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate all the support. And again, we've got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. We've got some draft prospect shorts we still need to get out. That's going to be coming all throughout the lead up to the draft in mid-April. Going to have a lot of NFL prospects and our analysis on them. We've already got some out, so please check those out. Got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe, Jasper. We can't announce some of it yet, but it's coming, and it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fucking sick.
It's going to be so awesome, dog. Oh man, dude.
Bursting.
Brick by brick, dude. Brick by brick, dude. We're just building this up, you know?
Yeah, that we are.
Yep.
Thank you to everyone in the chat. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, guys. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to the writers. Great questions. Really excited to see what we get next week. Riley will be here next week. We're really excited for that. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and have a good night.
Yep, we got to clean up and get out of here, you guys.
Yep. Peace.